let's get started with you. What made you decide to be a singer-songwriter?
I think it really just kind of comes from a love of country music, especially. I grew up in a little town called Bakersfield, California, and it's known pretty much worldwide for being the original Nashville, the original home of country music. So, growing up there, I was inundated with Buck Owens, Merle Haggard, Dwight Yoakam. It's just kind of what my town was about. So growing up, just on a farm, listening to country music. My grandmother played it. My brother Noah, my older brother, is very, very musical, and just kind of created like a love and a passion and appreciation for it. And it kind of kicked up when I was in high school, and just I played a guitar for the first time, and I realized, I wouldn't mind doing this for the rest of my life, and I've been going at it ever since.
So you live in Nashville, Tennessee,
Yes, sir, I do.
and that is like the mecca for country music,
For
obviously.
sure. Yeah, it's anywhere you go, you see cowboy boots and country music. It's definitely the capital for sure.
So what's it like getting a chance to sing and perform in Nashville, considering it's a very busy music scene out there, and a lot of people are trying to get heard. A lot of people are trying to get noticed. What's your thoughts having to perform there with so much going on?
Yeah, well, honestly, I think people think of Nashville as this really big city, and in all honesty, it's actually just a little small town. It's not too big. Almost every venue here in town has a place where you can perform live music, and it's true. You never know who is going to be in the audience. Just the other night, one of my friends was actually just singing the national anthem at a baseball game, and Toby Mac, who's like this crazy, crazy, real famous Christian musician, was there. And I mean, so you just never know who's going to be there. I find though that people, like fellow artists and fellow songwriters, I feel like the community here is just very, very supportive. When you go out and when you play a show, all your friends show up. They bring a friend. If you're like, hey, man, listen to the song I just wrote, people listen. They appreciate it. They'll give you honest feedback. They won't lie. It's just a great community. I know that playing shows has, as far as getting paid in this town, is it's pretty hard, and I think that's only just because of the great talent pool that we have to pull from. Everyone here sings, everyone here plays, we all write, we all do the same thing. So I know a lot of musicians, myself included, a vast majority of the time play out of town. We, travel up to a different state or city or something of the sort, and that's really kind of where we get paid. So it's not uncommon to see somebody live in Nashville but always be gone on the road playing shows.
Now, for you, Ashley, who do you consider like your influences musically?
I kind of have a lot, but I would say the main top ones would definitely be Loretta Lynn, Johnny Cash, kind of, just that old, country era, Dolly Parton. Those are just my idols when it comes to songwriting. My mom was really into rock and roll a lot, and so I grew up on a lot of 80s rock as well. So, people like Joan Jett and Pat Benatar and Hart, Bon Jovi. Those are all definitely heavy influences. And also, too, the Dixie Chicks, kind of that more 90s country, modern country. If I had a favorite artist that was on the radio right now, I'd probably have to say it's Brandy Clark. I don't know if, how many people know who she is, but her album, 12 Stories, is amazing, and I listen to it on repeat constantly.
Now, I'm hearing that you are in the studio working on your debut EP, and
Yeah,
I believe it's entitled Bakersfield.
that is right.
So,
Yeah, I started going to the studio a couple months ago, and it's really just I'm really proud of the way that it's turning out. It should be out at the beginning of next year, beginning of 2017. But yeah, I named it Bakersfield after just my hometown. There also is a song on my record called Bakersfield. But it's a 7-song EP. I've either written or co-written every single song on there, and I'm proud of it. I mean, I've recorded it here in Nashville, down at the Baird Music Group, having a couple different people produce it, and yeah, I'm excited for people to hear it. I was actually just in the studio earlier today and was doing some final vocals and mixes.
so, what made you decide? What's the meaning behind the name of the EP, Bakersfield?
Well, Bakersfield, California is my hometown, which is where I grew up. And so that is the name of my hometown and also the name for the record. I wanted to call it Bakersfield because, and I think anybody, let's say past the age of, 20 or 18 or so can probably relate to this. But, it's kind of like when you're a kid and, you're in your hometown and you just want to go away, right? You just want to get out of here. You want to be an adult. You want to go do your own thing. And that's basically how I felt when I left Bakersfield and I moved out to Nashville to pursue a dream. And I remember coming back to Bakersfield about 6 months after I'd been in Nashville. I went back home to visit my family. And I remember just walking the streets, and I remember just kind of sitting there thinking and, just really realizing how much of an impact your hometown has on you. Whether you hate it and everything, but you can look back on it with a whole new appreciation because that is your past, and your past really does dictate your future. It kind of sets you on where you're going. And for me, Bakersfield, that title, that my hometown, just means this is who I am. These are my roots. This is what I've done. This is where I'm going. So it just really kind of fit where I'm at in life and everything that I'm doing with pursuing things in Nashville.
That's cool. And what I like about it is that you're never forgetting where you came from.
Exactly.
That you now reside in a big city in Nashville. And that's pretty cool. There's a nice story behind it. And, I'm definitely looking forward to hearing the EP. Now, for people who wants to know, do you have a timetable as to when this EP going to be released?
Yeah, we are planning on having it out probably the first or second week in January. Latest I honestly would probably ever see this out is going to be February. So just kind of in the beginning of 2017. If people did want to kind of stay in touch with me and kind of just follow me, have to prepare to, release it and kind of get more of an exact date in the near future, the best thing to do is just go ahead and follow me on any of my social media. So like Ashley Taylor, you can find links to everything on ashleytaylormusic.com. That's just the best way to stay in touch with me. I just keep people updated on a daily basis about where we're at with the process and what's going on.
So have you decided what's the first single going to be?
Yeah, we are going to be releasing a song called Play Like Ken. And what I love about this whole record, too, is, like I said, because I've either written or co-written every single song, there's always a great story behind it because it's all true. There's nothing on this album that was just like, oh, that sounds like a good idea. I guess I'll write that today. It was all just true, real-life things that actually happened. And the story behind Play Like Ken basically starts where I was out doing the show. I believe I was up in, Knoxville, Tennessee, and I had gotten off the stage. And if anyone's ever, seen me at a show or you've seen a video or something of me, I'm kind of known for playing lead guitar, which I guess is pretty rare if you're a female. So that's people are like, oh, that's cool. But, yeah, so I got off stage this one night from a show, and this guy came up to me, and he was just like this real big old sweet, Southern teddy bear. He, talked just like this and the whole 9 yards. And he came up to me, and he said, ma'am, you sure are pretty. And I was like, oh, thanks. And then he said, but by God, you play guitar like a man. And I just started laughing. I play guitar like a man. That is hilarious. So I was just without missing a beat, I turned to him and I said, well, I guess I just look like Barbie and play like Ken. And so I was driving home that night, and I was thinking about that, and I was like, man, that would be a cool song, So I sat down. Didn't sit down. I was in my car driving home back to Nashville, so it was about 2.5 hour drive. And I got on my cell phone, and I wrote the verses all on the car ride home. I just put my phone on the dashboard and started, singing along and wrote the verses. And then a couple days later, I went into a co-write with my good buddy Jason Terry, and I said, hey, man, I made this up on my car ride home. Let's put a chorus to it. And so then we wrote the chorus. Yeah, it's a great song. I'm excited, just full of energy and rocking.
I've had the pleasure of interviewing a lot of artists of different genres, and they talk about the meanings behind their songs. I think that may have been one of the best stories I've ever heard that led to a song being put together.
Thank you.
That's very interesting. Talk about a compliment. You take that. So
Yeah. I think it's great too. I know that this past week, I was filming some videos actually, just short, kind of like minute or two long videos with some people here in Nashville, to where I sit down and I tell everyone the story behind every single track on EP. So, I tell that story in a video, and we go to the next track and I tell the story, because like I said, every song on this record was literally true. It was all true life. It was things people said or I did or something of the sort. So thank you so much. I appreciate that compliment. That's a big one.
So before I let you go, do you have any upcoming shows, performances you want to promote?
I do. I'm actually leaving next week on September 24th, which is my birthday, by the way. I'm going to be playing a show at Quacktoberfest out in Nashville, Indiana. So not Nashville, Tennessee, Nashville, Indiana. And then I am playing a couple writers' rounds here in Nashville throughout the month of October. And then come November, I am playing a show out in Clarksville, Tennessee with my good friend Matt Wynn. And then after that, in November, it's the 19th through the 21st, I'm going to be in North Carolina. And I'm playing some shows up at Rum Runners and McNeil's and all up there. So, yeah, if people are in those areas and if they want to come out to a show, I'd love to see them. And, again, the best way that you can find out, how to stay in touch with me, or if you want to check out my tour dates or anything like that, is just go to www.ashleytaylormusic.com.
Thank you so much for your time, Ashley. Truly appreciate it. And continued success. And everyone be on the lookout for Bakersfield EP coming in 2017. Until
Awesome.
then,
Thank you.
and continued success.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. You have a good night.
You too. Thanks. Take care.
Bye-bye.